Let's turn to our top story, homegrown radicals in Canada.
I don't know, I didn't expect anything to happen to South. It's small city, small school, and post-London. Don't expect anything to happen here.
That's a student from the former high school of 3 Canadians with links to an Algerian attack. CBC News first learned 2 men were involved in a siege at a gas plant, which left 37 workers dead. Well, today we know a 3rd man traveled to North America with them. Let's go to the CBC's Stephen D'Souza, live from London, Ontario. What do we know about this 3rd person now, Stephen?
Well, Aaron Yoon was friends with Ali Medlidge and Christos Katsarubis. They all went to the same high school. They grew up in the same area. Like Katsarubis, Aaron Yoon would be 24 years old right now. He converted to Islam, and we know as well that at one point Ali Medlidge and Aaron Yoon lived together, and that they all traveled together to North Africa. But unlike Medlidge and Katsarubis, Aaron Yoon did not take part in that terrorist attack in Algeria. That's because he was in a prison in North Africa. Now, the person we're describing is not one that people who knew Aaron Yoon growing up would describe. And in fact, we met a friend of Aaron Yoon, somebody who worked with him in 2008 as well as 2011. And she says she saw a great difference, a change in him in that time. And so let's hear now from a woman who worked with Aaron Yoon about the change she saw over a 3-year period with this man.
So he was an empty shell. He was very devoted to the religion. He needed to pray several times a day and during the shift. Just his whole attitude towards everything changed. Very antisocial, kept to himself. He didn't even speak a word to me at all. He avoided everyone.
So a very different person than the person she says she first met, who was very social, very outgoing, always very talkative, somebody that she thought was a very good person and wouldn't end up getting involved with the people that he was involved with. Now, we spoke with Aaron Yoon's family as well, and they declined to comment, but they did say that they don't believe that he is in fact in a prison and that he is currently free to travel right now. So some conflicting information there, but a more rounded picture we're getting now of the 3rd man involved in this bizarre story.
Okay, and you were at that school that all 3 men attended at some point. How are students there reacting?
Well, students there are really trying to wrap their heads around the fact that the same halls, the same classrooms that they're in today were the same halls and classrooms that these 3 individuals went to as well. And so we had a chance to speak to some students just to ask them about how it affects them, because obviously it's been a number of years, they're a number of years removed from these students, so they wouldn't know them personally, but nevertheless it still has an effect on the school, on the students, its reputation. So let's hear now from some students at London South Secondary.
It's rough. It is really sad, and everybody's not for our school. It's a bad reputation, but nothing we can do, right?
It doesn't surprise me that something like that happened. It surprised me that the severity of it, but it doesn't surprise me that someone kind of changed who they were for another person, like to kind of fit in with the crowd.
So, of course, students are asking many of the same questions that everyone here in London is asking. And then how could these 3 individuals go from a middle-class neighborhood to the desert in Algeria? Although we do know now that it's not just 3, that there is, in fact, a 4th. We're still trying to determine that individual's identity and learn more about that person. And when we find that information out, we will definitely bring that to you.
All right, Stephen, thank you.